It's time to go beyond the headlines, cause I don't put in overtime just so I can headline. Okay, now it's Fox Sports, I'm live with Renee. Going hard every day, sports rapping every play. Different segments for your favorites, coming at you daily with positive vibes, yeah, we some game changers. Basketball, football, soccer, with different interviews, you never know who may pop up. Listen, only on Beyond the Headlines, this is Beyond the Headlines. Only on Beyond the Headlines, this is Beyond the Headlines. Only on Beyond the Headlines, this is Beyond the Headlines with Renee Washington.
It is time for our Positive Vibes Only segment here on Beyond the Headlines with Renee Washington. Joining me this week to talk about how football saved his life, an aspiring professional football player, Shaquille Bolden from out of California. Shaquille, welcome to the show.
Hey, how are y'all?
I'm great. I'm glad to have you here, and I appreciate you taking time to share your story with me before the show, so I'm excited to share it with those that are listening. So let's go back to your childhood. You grew up one of 10 siblings, and growing up dealing with some family issues, such as your father going in and out of jail, dealing with drug issues. Talk to me about your upbringing and just share your background with those that are listening.
Okay. So it was kind of rough growing up, you know. My dad was like really on drugs really bad, which was like really took a toll on my life, you know. In North Carolina, he basically is from Durham, North Carolina and stuff like that, and he just really did not do well with staying out of jail growing up. So growing up, you know, he basically chose drugs over me and my brother and stuff like that, and was more so depressing because me growing up as a kid, I want my mom and dad to be together, but that was not the case. You know, he would take and buy us stuff to show how, okay, I bought y'all this, but then as soon as we go to sleep, he would basically go back and take the stuff back, return the stuff for money, and buy drugs, you know, which was very heartbreaking. And I was around like 12 or whatever. I just didn't know anymore, and I wanted to basically be in the streets and stuff like that because I seen my dad be in the streets, you know. So, and then that's when my mom met this guy. He was very, very, very good to me and my twin brother. His name is Larry Brandon. He was basically the person that raised me until now. But he passed away in 2016 while I was still in California. And basically he introduced me to sports. He introduced me to play sports and stuff like that. And he supported me through my whole entire career. So that was really what really saved my life. Him coming in my life, and along with my uncle Stanley Moore, my aunt Christy Moore, and my other aunts and stuff, that really helped me get through my hard times with me dealing with my dad and stuff. Which the guy that raised me was my other sibling's dad. You know, that's what was weird about it, because I'm like, oh well, I want my mom and dad to be together. I wanted to be raised with my mom and dad because I seen my friends and stuff, but that was not the case. You know, he chose drugs over my mom. It was like very heartbreaking. I used to cry a lot, and my aunt Tarisha and aunt Viv used to be like, well, you know, it's going to get better and stuff like that. And, you know, that's when he really just got out of prison July 6th, you know, so I'm just now forming a bond with him, and I'm 24 now.
Wow. So you touch on a lot of different things that really stand out to me. And one being, and I know I have this conversation with people, you know, I was fortunate to grow up in a two-parent household and not have to deal with, you know, the issues that you talk about. So I can't relate to you on a personal level, but, you know, the impact that drugs have, not only on your dad and his health and having him in and out of the criminal justice system, getting locked up, but also you talk about the impact it had on you, your brother, your mom. You know, as a young child, having to grow up in a household where you saw the issues with your mom trying to provide for you guys, your dad getting arrested, and that's something that no kid should have to deal with. You want to be able to have the childhood that you see your friends having. And so for that in itself, it does take a toll on you mentally and emotionally, because you're trying to figure out life, and here one of the people you look up to is someone that, dealing with their own issues and a drug addiction. So for you to have the family support, you talk about your aunts and family that really helped you through, your stepfather, that is tremendous, because not everybody even has that aspect. There are a lot of people that are dealing with a parent with drug addiction that are by themselves. So that's tremendous that you were able to even overcome that to get to the point you're at now as a 24-year-old that's, pursuing your goals of being a professional football player. So talk to me about the mentors you had in your life. That's something I know you mentioned before. There were some coaches in your life that also played a big role in keeping you focused as a football player and pushing you to continue to pursue your dreams.
Yes, ma'am. So as far as coaches and the mentors, I had Clinton Mack, which is he's a professional bodyguard for celebrities. James Minor, which is he was my middle school coach, and he basically helped raise me too throughout my life, that I'm still really close with. And Coach Smith over there at Orange High School, his whole staff, which is the high school I went to in North Carolina. And then as far as in keeping me out the streets and stuff, I had older cousins, Renees Bolden, Travis Bolden, a whole bunch of cousins, Steven still, that was really in the streets, that kept me out the streets, because they knew, okay, he has the talent and stuff like that. He has the talent to go far, So they really kept me out the streets, because when I tell you, when I was 16, I wanted to, basically didn't want to listen to my mom and them, and they kicked me out of their house because I didn't want to listen, and I totally understand it now. And, he would just, my dad would just let me run the streets and stuff, really didn't care. But what happened was my aunt, Harisha Bolden, basically, okay, well, he come stay with me in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and go to school from here. And it actually was a rough start for me, because I really didn't care about that. But the mentors I had in my life, and the older cousins that I had, like Lamont Austin and them, that I really had in my life, pushed me. So they'll be like, oh, what are you doing? Why you in at school? You out here skipping. Come get in the car. We're going to take you to school, stuff like that. So them mentors really helped me, because growing up in California and growing up in Durham, North Carolina is very rough. I live in a very rough area, to where a lot of kids don't make it to C24 or past 18, So, and that really right there helped me and saved me, to where I'm still alive, and I have lost childhood friends and friends that I grew up with due to gun violence and stuff like that. So it was just okay, it really they helped me get to where I am now, to where I am, I'm still fighting for a spot and stuff like that for an NFL roster. I'm still trying to be the best I can, and I'm also a coach too for the Bull City Bulldogs. Coach Fred Evans helped me, a lot, and I went over there and spoke with his team and stuff before I became a coach this year. This is my first year coaching, so I'm just trying to, give back how my mentors and them saved my life, really, because I was really going down a very dark road, and I just was looking for answers, and I was really going down that dark road only because I lost my stepdad, and I lost, my real dad was not in my life. My stepdad was really my real dad. We don't believe in all that stuff, kids and stuff. He really showed me genuine love, and that's why it's now, it's just hard. Sometimes it just be hard for me not to really. It's hard for me to think dang, he really gone, So yes, ma'am. So that's what really saved me, between my family and the mentors and my cousins that was really in the streets, and football. That's what really saved my life. Other than that, then I don't know where I'd be if it wasn't for that, So yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I'm sorry for your loss with your stepdad. I mean, it's hard to lose anybody at any age, but it sounds like he really was a tremendous man and really helped you figure out how to become a man yourself. but even going back, what's football saving your life? Academics. You know, for you growing up, where you were dealing with issues at home, where you didn't feel like, you know, maybe you weren't as happy at home, talk to me about really the struggle academically as a kid with all those external factors, and now you go to school 8 o'clock every day, and you're expected to perform on the same level as your classmates when your focus might have been on other things and the other, you know, family issues going on that your teachers, your classmates may not have even known that you were dealing with. Because I think that's something that a lot of, like, I was just having this conversation with a teacher, and when for teachers and educators, when you're teaching kids and you're trying to teach them all the same thing, they're all coming from a different background. They're all coming from a different foundation academically. They're all coming from a different support system, traumas, tragedies, whatever it may be. Everyone has their own story. So how did your story, and now try to go to school and be a kid, how did that impact your upbringing academically?
So then, it really, okay, let me be honest. So I had good grades.
Be honest with us.
Okay, look, I'm going to be honest. So I had good grades up until that stuff started happening to me. And it really took a toll on me because my academics went down when I wanted to be street. I wanted to be in the street so bad because I wanted to fit in with the other people, you know. So it took a toll on me. My freshman year in high school is when it all started happening. I started to know myself a little bit more, and I started to not want to obey my parents, you know. So that's when my mom kicked me out. So when she did that, my grades and stuff, you know, it went down. But, you know, so many people doubted me and stuff, like, oh, he's not going to, you know, remind me, I'm in the 9th grade. They like, oh, he's not going to make it past the 9th grade. He's not going to do this. But the whole time, my mom and dad and them was like, okay, you know, my mom was really on some stuff like, okay, I believe in you. My dad did not because of the stuff I was doing, but I ended up proving him wrong because I ended up going to the 10th grade. So when I did that transaction and moved with my aunt, Christy Moore, and my uncle Stanley Moore, along with my aunt Tarisha Bolden, that really right there, my grades went up because now I can focus more. My aunt and uncle let me play football and stuff like that, and that's when I had A's and B's and stuff until in my 12th grade. You know, I started really. It wasn't a challenge, but it was just like, you know, I was like, dang, I have to do better with my grades and stuff. But I did enough to pass all my grades to graduate from high school and stuff like that. And then it was just like, okay, I had A's and B's my 10th grade year, you know. But then it went from me want to be cocky and stuff and not listening and missing class and stuff, doing, you know, regular teenage stuff that caused me to drop my GPA. So my GPA was like a 2.5 and it stayed at 2.5. To where when I was playing ball, I was doing good and stuff, playing football, and I was really, 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 really trying to go somewhere, you know, and that's when it was like, okay, so I got accepted into St. Aug University, which is a college in Raleigh, North Carolina, which I was going to go play there on the full ride for football, but I didn't end up doing that. So then I ended up going to JUCO back home in Youre, California. And it really, and that right there, it took a toll on me because I'm by myself, you know, no parents, no nothing like that.
Right.
I have family and stuff up there. But if I would have kept my grades together in JUCO, I would have went somewhere Division I because I had that type of, you know, talent and stuff. I had to switch positions, but I'm like, okay, I believe in myself to where I can go Division I. But, you know, me doing stuff and really partying and not listening to my coaches and teammates and stuff, which, you know, one of my teammates from Orange High School in Hillsborough, Jerome Brooks, his dad, Jerome, had helped me get to that junior college, you know, and it was just like, dang, I had messed up real bad. So that's around the time when 2016 when I lost my stepfather, which really took a toll on me because I didn't know nothing about. I didn't know that he was gonna leave that fast, you know. So the day that he actually passed away, it was like I was in class and stuff. So like he always told me, like, you know, you're a student first. And I really should have, like, now I regret it, because if I would have listened and just been a student first in the athlete last, then I would have been a lot farther than where I am now.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's unfortunately what a lot of just in general, as we grow up, we tend to overlook messages and take things for granted until we really get to a point that we realize that shoulda, coulda, woulda moment. Like, if only I had done this, you know. But with all that being said, with your real father in and out of jail dealing with drug issues, with your stepfather passing away a few years ago, you know, with being put out and having to kind of figure things out on your own, you still overcame all of that, and you signed contracts, you played professionally, you recently just finished playing in Mexico City, and you're still pursuing your dreams of playing football at the highest level possible. So really, what's really next for you? And do you have, like, what's plan A, plan B? What's really the next step for you moving forward?
Okay. The next step for me is to play arena football. I don't know where yet, because I'm talking to teams now. And then playing at LFA. LFA is a league that's in Mexico, very good league in Mexico. And from there, I literally want to be going to Los Angeles and, you know, and just be like, okay, I'm playing for the Rams, or I want to, you know, that's what my plan is. So I want to go from arena to the CFL or NFL. You know, that's what I'm working on now. Besides me coaching the youth or whatever, I want to, you know, I'm also training and stuff like that. I want to basically go from arena next year, from arena to NFL, you know, or CFL, because I know that I have that talent and I have that good, you know, fan base and support system behind me, you know, and there's no reason why I shouldn't be, you know, I'm 25 now. I say by 27 I should be at least in my second year of playing in NFL. Like, that's my goal. I don't really have a plan B or nothing like that. I just have a plan A, because I feel like if I stick to if I worry about plan B and C, then I'm going to forget about plan A. And, you know, one of my coaches told me that. So, and then I also, you know, just know, like, I know for a fact that this was destined for me. Like, I would be the first one in my family to go to the NFL. You know, I'm the first one in my family to be professional now. You know, nobody in my family ever did that, you know. So it's just like, I believe that I can really go and do that and break that family curse, you know, because I have little cousins and stuff growing up too that look up to me, and I want to break that family curse. Like, okay, if he can do it and he came from this, you know, then why we can't, you know. And that's what it always been, you know. So that's my goal, like, and I'm going to stick to that goal. You know, I'm staying healthy, you know, and also focus on my goals too. So I'm staying healthy and focusing, you know, and that's where I'm going. So I know for sure next year I will be telling you, like, oh, well, I'm signed here to go play arena ball here.
Speaking into existence.
Yes, ma'am. So I know for a fact that I will be playing arena football in the States next year coming up, or signing with LFA, because I'm talking to them too. So I'm talking to a whole bunch of arena teams, and LFA is a professional league that pays good money for Americans too, you know. So that's where I'm going in life. That's where I'm, you know, I might have my hands in different stuff, but that's my main goal. You know, I'm still a professional athlete, and that's what I'm doing.
All right, I like that. And I definitely thought you were 25, but I thought you mentioned you were 24 at the beginning of the interview. But yes, you are still young. You still have a lot of time left, and I like that you really are looking to not only pursue your goals and through doing that, you're also breaking the cycle. You know, you're changing your family. You talk about your younger cousins that look up to you. You're breaking the cycle in your family and showing that there are other options. There are other paths you can take in life to be more than just what your environment is. And you're more than just a product of your environment. So I really wish you all the best of luck. Where can our listeners follow you on your journey to keep up with what you're doing?
Okay, I have an Instagram, Rich_homie_22. My Facebook is my name Shaquille Bolden. My Twitter is Marquez Bolden 51. And that's all really. That's where you can follow me at. I'm active all over, and that's where you guys can follow me at. Anything,
Perfect. Well, I definitely wish you all the best of luck moving forward, and I hope that you are going to be reaching out and posting within the next year about, taking that next step, whether it's CFL or NFL. So thank you so much for joining us on our Positive Vibes Only segment this week here on Beyond the Headlines with Renee Washington. I hope you guys give him a follow, because just hearing your motivation, hearing your story, you definitely have overcome a lot, and, the sky's the limit. So all the best to you.
Yes, ma'am. All the best to you, too. Thank you for having me on your show.